We are back again. We had to do another Buccaneer video. This one is special because not only are we happy the Bucs are in the playoffs, I wanted to get into this. The Buccaneers come off a monster 47-7 win over the Detroit Lions. I know what you're thinking. It's the lowly Detroit Lions. They had a multitude of problems. But here is the point that I wanted to bring up. Tom Brady, the second half of the 2 games ago against Atlanta, had 320 yards passing for 2 touchdowns. The first half against Detroit, he had 348 passing yards for 4 touchdowns. So, if you are quick at math, or at least following along with me, in the last 4 quarters, Thomas Brady has 668 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. And in case you're wondering, that would shatter
the single game record.
The single game record of over 552 yards. It would shatter it by almost 120 yards. It would shatter it. That is the pace that Tom Brady has been on these last 3 to 4 weeks, and the pace that he's been on all year.
He's heating up at the right time.
He's heating up at the right time, which is what he loves to do, and I love to see it. So I can't be more excited for Tom Brady. I mean, you're talking about 668 yards passing and 6 touchdowns in basically a game. It is a game. It's 4 quarters, right?
Correct.
Now, what are your thoughts on that, Cam?
It's amazing what he's done these last 4 quarters. I mean, ever since, that when they fell behind to Atlanta, he's been amazing. He's been absolutely amazing, leading this team back. You're rounding into form at the right time, and you're going to be a dangerous team.
Now, here's what I wanted to get to. In addition to that, we'll talk about your Patriots, okay?
Okay.
Now, so the Buccaneers wrap this up, clinch the playoffs, 47-7 in dominating fashion. We got 1 game to go. Bruce Arians says they're going to play their starters, which I agree with for the most part. If a guy's nicked up at all, bench him, Mike Evans is at 960 yards. If he gets 40 more yards, so if the first play of the game he gets 40 yards, I'd sit him down. That's just what I would do. Get him his 40 yards. Let him get the 1,000 yards. It'd be the first time ever his first season, 7 for 7, would be over 1,000 yards each season. It'd be the first time any receiver has ever done that. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely unbelievable. And he's done it. And it's not like he's had Tom Brady 7 seasons. Drew Brees. He's had the most debauchery of quarterbacks.
Mike Glennon, Jameis Winston.
Brian
Fitzpatrick.
Luke McCown, Fitzpatrick. Now, the list goes on and on and on. And now he's got Tom Brady. But him and Tom Brady, the first half of the season were not clicking. They were not a well-oiled machine, but now they are, which is a good thing. But here's what I wanted to get to. The New England Patriots get absolutely smashed and trashed, right?
Again, yep.
Again. And here is the most disturbing part of the game. So there is 5 people that threw a pass for a completion in that game. Cam Newton was not in the top 2 people in passing yards in this game. Josh Allen, talking about last night, the Bills, had 320 yards. Jarrett Stidham had 44. Okay? Cam Newton only had, and he played 3 quarters in case anybody's wondering. So he played 3 quarters. Jaquan, the safety, had 13 yards passing, and Matt Barkley, the backup, had 11 yards passing. So he had basically 21 yards more passing, basically, than each guy. 21, 22 yards more than each guy.
It's pathetic.
That's pathetic. That's terrible.
For a starting quarterback, absolutely.
And I'm hearing people now. Here is another thing I wanted to bring up as well. That's why I want to kind of combine this. The Bucs and the Patriots are 2 teams. Okay. Tom Brady has thrown 6 touchdowns in the last 4 quarters.
Correct.
Right? Cam Newton has thrown 5 touchdowns all season long. 5. He only missed 1 game because of COVID. He missed 1 game. So he's not like he missed 5 or 8 or 10. He missed 1 game. So he's thrown 5 touchdowns, which is pathetic. Now, he's thrown 2 touchdowns at Foxborough this year. In his home stadium, he's passed for 2.
Both to Rex Burkhead.
You know how many Josh Allen has thrown? 4.
Right.
Okay, true. So a guy that's played 2 games in your stadium has thrown 4, twice the amount of Cam Newton. Every metric is terrible. Now, If you go back to last season, he played 2 games last season. He threw 0 touchdowns last. So what does that mean in English? In 16 games, 16, he's thrown 5 touchdowns. Tom Brady has thrown 6 in 4 quarters. Don't tell me it's the Bill Belichick system and Josh McDaniels. Don't tell me that.
I never want to hear that again.
I don't want to hear that again because it's Tom Brady. Yes, Bill Belichick's a great coach. I'm not discrediting that. Tom Brady's the system. Did Bruce Arians
100%.
become a genius? Did Bruce Arians figure out how to stop throwing 30 for 30 biscuits and interceptions? No, it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady runs his own system within the realm and the framework of the Bruce Arians system, correct?
Correct.
In addition to that, I went back further. I said, let me just check the season before. The final 2 games he played with Carolina, the 2018 season.
Yep.
Talking about Cam Newton, he threw, as you guessed it, 0 touchdowns.
So his last 18 games, he's got 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdown passes in 18 games. So it's not a Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels. It's a Cam Newton problem. Okay,
He's done.
is the problem. He's done. He's a dumpster fire. So what are your thoughts on that, Cam?
No, I mean, look, it's been extremely disappointing. And there's no other way to say it. The fact that we're in week 17, we're about to play the last game of the season, and there's a starting quarterback in the NFL in 2020 who's thrown 5 touchdowns all year. And as you said, has missed 1 game.
Only 1 game. So for those, I saw a lot of people apologizing for Cam Newton today. A lot like in ESPN, on Twitter, like saying, "Oh, let's bring him back. Let's bring him back." And I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? Cam, before we wrap this video up, it's not going to be a long video. Speak to that. Speak to what you've seen watching every game, every snap for the Patriots for Cam Newton this year. Just give me your take on everything.
He can't throw anymore. He can't throw the ball. There are been so many occasions this year where there's been a guy, whether it's Jacoby Myers or N'Keal Harry or Julian Edelman when he was healthy, would be wide open about 8 yards in front of him, like this, right, and he would one-hop it. He can't throw anymore.
He's got a lazy, sloppy throwing motion. His mechanics are terrible. Look,
they always have been.
He's always had bad mechanics, but when he was younger, he could get by because of his elite athleticism. The game has changed because you've got guys now like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. You've got a new wave of Josh Allen, a new wave of guys that are young and big and strong and are athletic
and have good arms. Yeah.
Cam Newton only had 4,000 yards passing once.
You've said it many times. His MVP year is really his only truly elite passing season.
Right. That's it. He threw 35 touchdowns. So he had one monster year where he had a great defense, much like Lamar Jackson did a year ago.
Easiest schedule in the league.
I see a lot of similarities between the two. Easiest schedule in the league. They're never going to repeat those performances in the league ever. So, having said that, like and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned because we got a lot more to come. Like and subscribe. Thanks again.